Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Transnation Esports Tier 1 No Assist coverage here from the Mexico Grand Prix. I am Stu, joined here as always by Mike, Polish Sniper. Mike, how's it going today?
Hey man, hold on a second. I gotta get some tacos. I'll be right back.
Oh,
No, what's going on, dude?
yeah, I mean, tacos. Ooh, I could go for a taco right now. Actually, I had tacos yesterday. So, um,
Yeah,
oh man, I mean, the tacos they aren't quite the same up here as they are the truly authentic ones that
yeah.
you
I'm
can
sorry,
get.
man.
But, oof, man, yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's I mean, other than the food, the Mexico Grand Prix. It should be a track that produces, I think, a decent number of passing opportunities. There's three DRS straights on this course. A bit of a, it's a challenging track, I think, for track extension, and penalties are definitely going to come into play here. I know you just ran a race here, Mike. I understand it was raining, so maybe
Yeah.
maybe didn't get the full extent of how people can get burned by track extending and the subsequent penalties that come from that. But but I mean, what are your thoughts on this Mexico track? Is it one? Did you enjoy racing here, or is it one that you're glad that we can cross
Well,
off the calendar?
well, I like it unless if it's not raining. I mean, going through that section is terrible through the rain, especially to me, if you use a controller. Other than that, this is a great track. I really do enjoy racing here.
Yeah, I think that's something that we were talking about that a little bit just before we got on the air here is what this track can do and the challenge that it presents in the rain. The S section, it's damn near impossible to get any good traction through there and keep the car planted. But as we see Mackenzie rushing out onto the track already, everybody seems to be coming out quick. Gray skies are above the track right now. I
That's how it
wonder.
was for our race at the beginning. It was gray
Yeah,
skies. The next thing you know, it's set for the race. It's supposed to be raining. So
what could that mean? Could we see rain in this qualifying? All the drivers coming out on the soft compound tire as well, which is perhaps a little bit unusual. Here at Mexico, while I don't know the exact ideal strategy, I can recall from previous games it is very viable to start on the mediums. I believe it might have been a two-stop strat previous games. Could be wrong on that, but
man,
oh, we do have reports that it is all dry, so despite
lucky
any
guys.
speculation on our end, it is going to be dry all the way. Darn.
And the championship leader is out first.
Yeah, actually, that brings us to the championship discussion here. As today, Andrew Lee can wrap up the championship here today. I believe if he beats Tyler by 11 points today, Andrew Lee will be crowned the Transnation Esports No Assist Tier 1 champion here as he crosses the line to start his flying lap.
That
Um,
was a
uh,
mouthful.
yeah, it certainly was. Certainly was a mouthful. And just give a quick rundown of those championship standings as we follow Andrew along on his flying lap here through this Mexico Grand Prix circuit. Andrew Lee leads championship standings with 266 points. 75 points behind him is Tyler Beasley in second place. In third place, Mackenzie Stewart with 169 points. So there is a bit of a gap there between Mackenzie and Tyler. They are separated by just 22 points. DeMarlio finds himself in P4 with 143 points. 142 points sees Andrew Honda, that is, in that Red Bull. He's currently in P5. Phil is P6 with 112 points. Addy is P7 with 103 points. Eduardo Rojas, P8 with 91 points. This is really where it starts to get packed here. With 87 points, there's Robin Kreft. They're in 10th place. We have Zach Hockmeyer with 81 points. 11th, Michael Garone Jr. with 77 points. Thierry and Izat are both tied with 66 points. That is a tie for 12th. In 13th, Mono has 61 points. Albert has 54 points. Ken Doyle also has 54 points. Daniel Hernandez with 43. Ethan Lossing with 19. And then finally, bringing up a tie for P19, we have Axel with 16 points alongside Piers, who of course is the newest driver to join Tier 1.
Robin somehow hit the wall and he's gone now.
Ooh. So Robin is out of the session here. Andrew Lee leads the way, a 113.340 for the Williams driver. Fairly nice lap there to start things off. Only 6 drivers, now 7 have completed lap times. That is a couple of tenths ahead of his nearest championship rival. That is Tyler Beasley. Now on the constructors side of things, I believe there was a points update done just a few moments ago. So I know the driver standings are confirmed up to date. These constructors, they may be slightly off, but it is Williams that's also leading the way there with 345 points. Haas in P2 with 210. Alfa Romeo just behind them with 207. Again, this battle from second down to about 9th is really wide open. Alfa Romeo with 207. Red Bull a little bit back, 15 points back with 192. Mercedes with 185. Alpha Tauri with 170. In 7th with 166 points is Renault. Or, that's McLaren, sorry. In P8 with 159 is Racing Point. Renault is P9 with 155. And then finally Ferrari with 123 points. So lots of good battles here. Throughout the drivers and the constructors championship standings, with 3 races to go here, including this one here this afternoon or today, depending on where you are.
There's a lot of good battles.
Yeah, there
constructors.
There are lots of position and lots of I would say bragging rights. Still very much on the line with these drivers. Of course, most of the guys that race here in this division are fairly close buds, and I imagine that they want to try and do their best, get the the bragging rights on their competition.
Yeah, it's funny. Mr. Rojas is the only one that's on medium tires.
Yeah, is Eduardo, whereabouts is he? He's down in P16?
Yeah, he came in. He aborted his lap, so I guess he knew that wasn't the right strategy, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't look like everybody fitted tires-wise right now is on the soft, so I think it's pretty clear-cut what these drivers are wanting to qualify here on today.
I got my fingers crossed for Tyler today, man.
Yeah, I think I know I was keeping an eye on. I believe it was the Discord chat in the no assists for this tier, and I think he had a bit of a breakthrough when it came to maybe some of the internet connection issues that he was having. I believe that Mr. Brett Keenan was helping him out with some of that, so hopefully that'll help to fix some stuff. I believe Ethan just jumped up. Oh no. No, he didn't just jump up. Who was it? Somebody just jumped up. But I can't help but notice Ethan Lossing currently sitting in P7. A very nice run so far for Ethan. Ethan, of course, one of the most consistent drivers I would make the argument for on the grid, and definitely one of the drivers that's probably the easiest on the tires, but he struggled a little bit in season 6.5 so far. But certainly is having a good run here early in this qualifying session. Currently sitting P7, so we have I believe a reserve in here today as well. That would be Harry Lillis in that Renault. I wonder who he's replacing. We're missing actually both of the regular Renault drivers today. Piers is not here, and Zach Hochmeyer is also not present today. So, um, I know Renault.
Albert's P2.
Yeah, Albert P2. Albert, who's actually Albert's missed a couple of races as of recently, but he finds himself back today and looking for a good result. We're also missing a second Ferrari driver, so Robin is not here, which is surprising. So
Robin is here. Robin crashed out.
Oh, yep. Sorry, that's my bad. His his normal bright red, the bright red Ferrari, I guess, color beside his name is now more the alpha color. So it threw me for a loop.
Yeah. Andrew went a little bit faster with a 113.2.
Yeah, 113.2. So he's 0.3 ahead of Albert right now for that pole position. Few drivers have yet to set a time so far here. Of course, Robin, who has crashed out, he will start from the rear of the field. We have Mr. Honda, that of course being Andrew as well. He is yet to put a lap together. Eduardo has yet to set a lap, as has Daniel Hernandez. Daniel Hernandez on a flying lap right now, and actually a congratulations to Daniel Hernandez. Oh, what's going on?
KD's got a 5-place grid penalty for crashing into Tyler.
Oh, that's not good. Is Tyler on a flying lap too?
He was.
Yeah, Tyler was on a flying lap, so... Oh, yeah. So that's...
And he has damage too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for those drivers. Not sure what the cause sort of that incident was, but they still, both of those drivers still have time to bring it back into the pits. And
yeah, I mean, whatever happened, I mean, I'm pretty sure is, probably KD's fault. I mean, unfortunately, because he's the one that got the penalty for it. So I don't know what he did. So
that is true. Crazy. That is true. Sure, if there's anything that's going to come of that, the stewards will take care of that post-race and get that sorted out. Eduardo Rojas, he does put in a time. He's the slowest of the drivers that have set a time so far, 1:15.0. Honda is in the middle of just starting Sector 2 right now, so we'll ride along with him. Of course, Honda's had some very good runs this year in Tier 1 with no assists. He has just recently wrapped up the championship in the U.S. Sunday Regional. And actually, I believe before Tyler and KD got together, I was mentioning that Daniel Hernandez, a big congratulations to him. He picked up his first victory, we believe, in Transnation eSports on Monday night in the U.S. Regional as Honda jumps up to P6. So congratulations to Daniel. It was a very strong race at Japan. I'm sure he wishes it could have come in this league, this tier, but still an accomplishment nonetheless.
That was a good race for him.
Yeah, he had to beat the likes of Zach Hochmeyer and Michael Garone Jr., of course, both regulars in that division. Also, KD, I believe, was in that race. Some good battles in that Monday night race, but hopefully some of that will carry through to tonight or today for this Mexico Grand Prix. DeMarlio's on a flying lap right now, going through Sector 3. He's 0.4 up on his previous best, so this looks like it could be a very competitive lap for DeMarlio here. As he's going to cross the finish line, he's going to jump to P4, a 1:13.5. Ken Doyle has joined the session. That will give us 19 drivers.
He's a little late to the party.
Yep, better late than never, though.
Yeah,
he still can get a qualifying lap in, although it won't mean anything because there is unfortunately a glitch plaguing the game right now where if you join in the qualifying session late, it will start you from the back of the field no matter what. So
oh wow.
So unfortunate for Ken, but at least he'll be able to get in and race. So who do we got out? Most of the drivers are actually all drivers. Nobody's on a flying lap right now, unless if Invalidation definitely on a slow lap, and Demalio I believe is on a slow lap as well. So a couple drivers on out laps. We have Addy and Daniel. So we'll see what these guys are able to do. Addy in that AlphaTauri. Oh, so the report from Ken is just some slight internet issues, but hopefully that's all sorted, and he's not going to have any issues for this race.
That's good.
Yeah, we see Ken is now joined into his car, so if he chooses to, he'll go out there and be able to get a qualifying lap in. Hardly any drivers on the track right now, though. It's going to be a busy final 4 minutes here from Mexico.
Yeah, Eduardo is coming out now.
Yes. That he is. Just keeping it locked on...
Well, Joker's on the lap.
Yeah, Addy is also on a lap. He's just finished up Sector 2. He's a half-tenth up on his previous best, so... which isn't much, but it might be enough to if he can find some more speed here in Sector 3, jump him up a spot or two. He's going to come across the line and jump to P10, so he found some time in that final sector, 1:14.1.
Yeah, Joker invalidated.
Oh, so Daniel, if he's carrying enough fuel, he'll be able to give it another go. Who else do we have on a flying lap? Eduardo's on a flying lap. He is in Sector 2 right now, and he did improve on his previous best Sector 1 lap. Of course, this is the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez racing circuit. I believe it is named after two famous drivers that resided in Mexico.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Yep.
And I do believe one died in a race.
I believe that you're correct in saying that. As Eduardo jumps to P10, 1:13.8. Albert is on a flying lap, currently P3, but he has invalidated, so that's not going to be good. Phil is on a flying lap. He is 6. Oh, no, wait. He is about to cross through Sector 1. I was going to say he's 6/10 up his previous best Sector 1 time. That's incredible.
I see Mackenzie went to P2.
Oh, Mackenzie, yes, up to P2. He is on an out lap right now. Phil is making his way through Sector 2. The invalidated Ferrari is in front of him. What else do we got? Michael Garone Jr., who is on a flying lap. He is 2/10 up on his previous best time. He's looking to jump up and join the party here. But we're going to bring it on back up to Phil here as Phil makes his way through the stadium section here in Mexico. Perhaps, I think you can make a very good argument for the best podium celebration atmosphere as Phil jumps to P2. He is just over a 10th behind Andrew. So as Andrew's on a flying lap right now, making his way through the first couple corners as he invalidates. So Andrew Lee is going to be stuck at that 1:13.2. Wow. Is anybody going to be able to top him? Mackenzie has invalidated. DeMarlio is just starting his flying lap. Michael Garone Jr. jumped up to P9.
Tyler just started as well.
Okay, so that's good to know. Honda is barely improving on his previous best time. I don't know if that's going to be enough to jump up into the conversation for pole here today. currently sitting at a 113.8. What's he going to be able to do? Comes around the final corner, crosses, and he jumps to P9 at 113.7, but what's Mackenzie done? Mackenzie is coming into the pits, that's correct. Demalio is invalidated. Tyler, though, we're going to keep it locked with Tyler. Of course, currently second in the championship.
Albert went P1.
Albert goes P1, a 113.185. So a nice lap there. Missed that. Sorry about that, Albert. Tyler is 3.5 tenths up. He is on a flyer right now. Set a purple sector 2. What's he going to be able to do? He gets a little bit squirrely there coming out of the stadium section. But coming out of the long final corner here and down the start-finish line, he jumps to pole, a 113.134 for Tyler Beasley. Can anybody match it? Izzat's on a slow lap. Thierry just jumped up to P13. And I think that is going to be it for qualifying, as everybody else has completed their laps. Tyler Beasley is going to start on pole. Albert Ramirez Garcia will start P2. And Andrew Lee, the championship points leader, who can lock things up here today, will start P3.
I'm shocked he invalidated.
Yep. The invalidation costing Andrew there, as the field, as it's been in previous weeks, the top 15 drivers are covered by a second, and the entire field is covered by 1.2 seconds of the drivers that have set a time. So it's an incredibly competitive field here, and it's going to make passing difficult. Ooh, as Mackenzie got a 5-position grid penalty as well. I did not catch that. So that's unfortunate for Mackenzie, as KD will start last on the grid here.
Mackenzie's the one that put Robin out.
Oh, that explains that then. Ken Doyle, as we mentioned, he joined the session a little bit late, but he put in a time that's good enough for P12. I unfortunately don't think that he's going to maintain that position because of the glitch, but regardless, Ken showing some good pace here and was able to get a good lap in.
Yeah, he did.
So predictions on today's race, Mike. Who do you think is going to come out on top here today, and how many safety cars do you think we'll get at this in this race?
Safety cars are probably, I think, one. I think probably one virtual as well. As far as the top 3 goes, it's gonna be close. I mean, you got Tyler, you got Albert. I mean, of course, you got the championship leader, Andrew. I mean, you can, mix and match the top 3, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a good feeling today for Tyler. I think Andrew's had an amazing run over this season 6.5, and I really feel like today, Tyler, if he has those internet issues sorted out, then I think we should have a really good battle between him and Andrew, and it's one that I'm certainly looking forward to. And I mean, also,
yeah, most definitely.
Don't rule out Albert as well. Albert's been absent for a few races, sure, but he's obviously today, as you can see with that qualifying effort, has shown his pace, and I think it should be a good one to watch here today in Mexico. So, two-stop strategy.
Albert's a real. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say Albert's been quick. When he actually has raced this year. So I mean.
That's true. He, of course, started the season off very strongly and then just wasn't able to attend all the races. So has dropped down the standings a little bit, but he finds himself up where he's used to being, sort of in the top 5 there, and should be a good race to watch. as I will run you through the DXT Esports starting grid now. Starting on pole tier today is Tyler Beasley in that Haas. Alongside him, Albert Ramirez Garcia in the Ferrari. On row 2, we find our championship points leader, Andrew Lee, and alongside him is the McLaren of Phil. On row 3, D'Amalio and Izat. We'll start 5th and 6th. On row 4, we have Mono and another Andrew. This one is Honda. And finally, rounding out the top 10, a nice qualifying effort for Michael Garone Jr. as he finds himself starting in P9. In the Williams, alongside him is Mackenzie Stewart, of course. He put in the 5th best time in qualifying, but will take a 5 grid place drop. As we head outside the top 10, we find the first driver starting the race on the mediums. That would be Eduardo Rojas. Alongside him is Thierry, also starting on the mediums. Thierry's teammate Addy starting in P13 on row 7, also starting on the mediums, and then Ethan Lossing starting on the softs in P14. Harry Lillis, our reserve here today, starting P15. Alongside him will be Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, in the Red Bull. Robin starts P17 in the Ferrari after that qualifying incident. Kyle starts P18. And finally, rounding out the grid as we expected, the qualifying glitch, Ken Doyle, who put in the 12th best time, but will start as the last car on the grid. Two-stop strategy here today, Mike. I think we're going to see some medium to soft. We might see medium to soft. But we're going to see 2 stops here today. We'll see how that comes into play. But I think safety cars are going to play a big role in today's race. And whoever gets it, whoever has them fall their way will definitely get a nice boost towards their race efforts today. As the lights are out and we are off. Tyler got a great jump off the line there. Getting squirrely back there. Michael Garone Jr. didn't get off the line. And Kyle unfortunately got into the back of the Williams and picked up a 5-second penalty for it. So I don't know. Oh, absolute chaos up the grid. Tyler's around. Tyler's down the grid. Yellow flag in sector 1. Absolute carnage. Just a localized yellow though. So we put the commentator's curse on him apparently before the race even started. As Tyler Beasley drops all the way to the back now.
The water is up to P7 right now on the mediums.
That's true. Eduardo's done well for the start of his race.
What happened with Tyler?
I have no idea. I was looking into the incident that kind of happened a little bit further back as we see Mono going up the inside of Eduardo. Ooh, maybe didn't give him a ton of space there on corner exit, but got the job done. I don't know what happened back there, to be honest, or up there. I don't know if he had some help or what happened. But regardless,
I was checking on incident back there with KD, and then
Yeah, all I saw when I was back looking at Michael Garone Jr.'s Williams, I just saw I saw a car sideways, and just Tyler absolutely falling down the order. So Kyle in, not surprisingly, get that wing change. He's gonna serve that 5-second penalty here early. Still lots of time to go in this race for him to get back up into the running here. Izat maybe was involved in that incident with Tyler. Pure speculation, of course, but
Ken just cut right in front of Tyler, man. They're like really close.
As Honda up to P5, D'Amalio holding strong in P4. The 3-second time penalties are already starting to be handed out here. As quite a few opportunities to extend track limits here, and they'll bite you. Bite you here in Mexico.
Andrew's already pulled out a 2.3-second lead.
Yep. Of course, Andrew just needing to outscore Tyler by 11 points today to lock up that championship. And speaking of Tyler, he is looking to get past the Alpha Tauri of Thierry right now, down the long front straightaway. He goes up the inside, and I think he's going to get that move done going into turn 1. He is. So time penalties starting to be handed out here.
Yeah, Harry just got one.
Yep.
McKenzie's getting on the back of Honda right now as well.
That he is. Putting a little bit of pressure on Andrew. But yeah, two medium runners that have had pretty good starts, Eduardo and Addy, both with a strong start for them, maybe taking advantage of some of the chaos that's unfolded in front of them, but they've done well to keep it clean. They're currently under pressure by Daniel Hernandez as well as Ethan Lossing. So we'll see what's going to happen on this front. This is kind of one of the closest battles on track. We have Mono and Mackenzie that are pretty close together as well. Mono maybe going to take a look. No, he's not going to be close enough to take a look up the inside. They're stuck in a bit of a DRS train right now.
Yeah, you got to be really close to these guys in order to get a pass.
Yeah, you do. And as this race spreads out a little bit, we'll see what comes from it.
Now with these guys, I think pitch strategy is going to be, in order for them to break the DRS train, I think somebody has to go in first to get the undercut, man, and maybe that'll work. Because otherwise they're going to be stuck like this for the whole race.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see maybe one of these medium runners maybe try a one-stop strategy, go mediums to hards.
Yeah.
That's definitely a possibility to do around here. The game didn't recommend doing it, but we often know that the tire strategies that the game cooks up are often bogus.
Yeah,
but
well,
I imagine
that went to the hards, and I mean he's only been on for one lap, so we'll see how that pans out for him.
Is that usually a pretty quick driver? And we'll see how that runs for him. Still a nice battle here brewing for P8, a big old train behind Eduardo. From basically P8 back to Tyla. Tyla's actually caught the rear of this train, so despite the early incident, Tyla is coming back strong. If we get a safety car or anything, I wouldn't rule him out completely, as Daniel and Addy. Daniel is able to get around Addy up into P9, so Daniel trying to take advantage of those soft tires while they're still good. I imagine within the next couple of laps we're going to start to see maybe some of these soft runners come into the pits. Don't know exactly how many laps we should expect to see these guys run, but
well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of like Eduardo is holding these guys up.
Yeah, he is holding them up a little bit. Of course, the gap from Mono to Eduardo is now 6.1 seconds. So if you're Daniel, you really want to try and get this move done here down the long front straightaway. He's got DRS open. I don't know if he's going to be close enough, though. He's going to go to the inside. Daniel Hernandez up the inside of Eduardo into turn 1. And he's going to get the move done. So Daniel Hernandez now going to try and break the DRS of Eduardo and get a move on with it here. Actually, Daniel keeping the DRS. Eduardo with the slipstream.
Oh, Jesus.
Did Addy get into the back of Eduardo there?
No, almost.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. They're millimeters apart, man.
So this train now extends all the way back to P17. All of the drivers from P8 to P17 are within a second of the car in front of them, as Mackenzie has gotten around Honda. Interesting in the stadium section. What happened to Honda? Honda's into the pits. So Honda blinks first here. He's going to come into the pits, try and get an undercut.
He has damage too.
Oh, he does. So, wonder if maybe that happened in the pass with Mackenzie. He fits another set of softs, so the 2-stop is confirmed there. Tyler gets around Addy. Oh, maybe not quite. He got around his teammate. Wasn't. Oh! And Tyler got into Addy, and now Tyler's out. Tyler's out of the race.
Yep.
And that's going to bring out a virtual safety car. So, Tyler Beasley, the championship hopes are over. That is going to hand the championship to Andrew Lee regardless.
I don't know. That was pretty tight, man. I mean, I don't know. Was that a racing incident or?
It's tough to.
Somebody or what?
It's tough to say. The angle that I was looking at wasn't great, as the virtual's over already, so nobody's really going to be able to take advantage of that. It's hard to say. It looks like Tyler definitely, I think, was close enough to deserve a line through those corners. And I don't know if, as Mackenzie comes into the pits, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I think it's going to be one that's going to be up to the stewards to decide for sure.
Well, Addy was losing the back end as well too. So I mean, he was kind of like helpless right there at that point.
Yeah. They were side by side going into those first couple corners, and whenever you're side by side, you have to be hyper aware of the driver that you're racing, as Daniel and Eduardo were duking it out there. Eduardo got back past Daniel, so Daniel's softs maybe not holding up the greatest right now. Regardless, though, Addy is in the pits now as well. Maybe I imagine he might have picked up some damage from that incident.
Yeah.
As Tyler leaves the session. Unfortunate for Tyler. He, it's just unfortunate that he found himself in that position to begin with. Don't really know what happened in that first lap incident, but he was forced to claw his way back up through the field and got caught up in. Don't really know who's to blame there, as our leaders in the pits. Andrew Lee, Albert's in as well. Andrew's off and away on the medium compound tires, so Andrew is going to make another pit stop later in this race. He's not going to be able to go 27 laps on those mediums.
Yeah.
Now it'll be interesting to see how Andrew handles this traffic in front of them. He is rejoined at the back of this very long train that stretches from P3 now back to P10. So Andrew's got some work to do, and he's going to have to be very careful navigating through this traffic. KD's out. What happened to KD? He retired in the pits, I believe.
Unless he hit the pit wall.
Maybe. There's still a yellow flag in Sector 3, so I feel like he must have lost it coming into the pit lane.
Let's see. Phil's in. Malio's in.
Yeah, not really
gone now.
Not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, Phil came in. I was on board with him to see what happened, but he was already gone already.
So Andrew Lee making moves now down the front straightaway, up the inside of Harry Lillis going into turn 1. He's definitely going to get that move done before the first corner. So Andrew Lee's up into P5.
I mean, to be honest with you, Andrew really can just sit back and just, just stay pat and just let everybody in front of him just go and, pull away and go into the pit. And that way you can just have smooth sailing. I mean, there's really no rush at all, period.
Yeah,
the out now.
Only way that he's going to hurt himself is if he tries to push a little bit too hard and go for a gap that's not really there. Yeah. He's right up on the back of Robin right now. He's not going to make a move yet. Maybe he'll try and make a move in Sector 3, but he's going to try and go up the inside here. He's going to get past Robin. And behind him, there's a pass being made to Terry up the inside of Harry. This is a battle for position on track. As Terry is going to get that, and then he lost it almost.
Yeah,
I wonder if Harry might have got into him a bit there, because Harry also fell back. So maybe some contact between those two.
No, there's no damage on his car, so.
Fills into the pits. He's back out running. Opts for the mediums. Ethan Lossing has yet to come into the pits, as Andrew just passed him. So Ethan on lap 11 on those softs right now. Of course, he didn't have any qualifying laps on those tires, as he started outside the top 10. As Andrew looking for a move on Eduardo right now. Eduardo not making it easy. Andrew's just got to be patient here, pick his spot.
Yeah, like you said, there's no need to rush.
Yeah, doesn't need to push the issue. Oh, and Andrew picks up a 3-second time penalty. Uncharacteristic for Andrew, but that's what happens when you run in traffic, as he is going to try and get past Eduardo now. He's going to clear him.
Yeah,
So
he's pushing when he really doesn't have to.
Yep. So Andrew Lee back to the lead. I imagine that Ethan's going to come in here. He's done a really good job to keep pace with these medium runners around him. I mean, you really got to hand it to him. He's staying out. Man, oh man. The Wizard is just at it here today in Mexico. 12 laps on, or he's going to go at least 11 full laps on those softs. That makes me believe that he's doing the one stop. It's the question is he going to try and pull out the mediums? Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to pull the mediums to the end, although I wouldn't have thought they'd be able to pull 11 laps out of those softs, so
yeah.
See what he's going to try. And like I said, I mean, he's definitely starting to feel it on this lap. You can see Eduardo's pulling some gap on him now. But it seems like he's done a good job.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes in this lap. I mean,
of course,
closing in.
If he's able to pull off that one-stop strategy, that's going to give him a big boost compared to some of his competitors here.
Yeah,
we'll see. He's going to come in this lap. What's he going to opt to go on to here?
Yeah, if he goes on the hards, then you know he's only doing one stop. So.
Yep. It looks like the hards are at the ready here. He is going to be putting the hards on, so Ethan Lossing's going to one stop. Should be able to go to the end. 23 laps on those hards without much of a problem. He's going to come out in P15, but is done with the pit stops.
Albert's lost a couple spots.
Yeah, he has. He has DeMarlio battling to... Ooh, he just got into DeMarlio's side pod a little bit there. As they're duking it out here. Some real battling going on from 6th on down to 11th. Albert up the inside. He's going to get the move done on DeMarlio. So Albert up to P8. He sets his sights on Harry now.
He's got to get back around these guys again.
Oh, he got back. He got into the back of Harry a little bit. That's the difference between those tires. Harry on 12-lap old mediums. Meanwhile, Albert is on 3-lap old mediums. They're gonna. Oh, DeMarlio to the inside. Are they gonna go 3 wide down the front straightaway? Here goes Albert. This is more like a NASCAR race. Where's the bump drafting? They're still 2 wide into the corner. They make contact. Albert came down on DeMarlio a little bit there. And Albert's going to hold that position. Harry's the the loser amongst those is he's lost 3 spots out of that deal. It's just the DRS advantage that you can get down the front straight here.
Yeah, I think Harry's going to try to stretch those out as far as he can, then hop on the softs maybe.
Yeah, I think Harry's probably. It looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit, maybe with those mediums.
Yeah, I think Harry's probably hoping for a safety car as well too.
Yeah. Only 2 drivers have opted to go for another set of softs. One of them being Honda, who just got around Harry.
Yeah.
So Honda's gonna have to make another stop. The question is when he is going to stop and what he's going to go on. 14 laps drivers have run on the mediums. I imagine Honda's going to try and go to maybe lap 10 or so, then hop onto a set of mediums.
Yeah,
As Thierry's into the pits, he has fitted the soft. So the first of the medium runners to come in and pit.
Yeah, Michael just got around Daniel.
Oh, there's Harry's around. Oh, so Harry's had an incident here in Sector 1. He's letting the field filter on by. Come on, Coke Masters, give me a better camera shot here.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to go into hard. Harry's taking off the marker boards.
Yeah, Harry's just he's trying to stay out of the way. He has wing damage, and he's going to nurse that Renault around the track now.
And McKenzie's got around Mr. Rojas.
Yes, he has. So McKenzie up to P3. Another good effort here so far from McKenzie. He now sets his sights on Robin, who is yet to make a pit stop. So yellow flag in Sector 2. That's just for Harry, who was letting Addy by.
Yeah, well, let's hope we don't have a repeat of what happened in Japan last week.
Yeah, hopefully not, as man, this battle for third is really shaping up here. Phil is involved in this. Eduardo also in the running as well. Phil going around the outside of Eduardo right now. Oh, Eduardo's around! Oh, and there's been an accident. Both Phil and Eduardo... Yeah, both Phil and Eduardo have wing damage. I don't know if there was contact between them.
Yeah, it was, because Eduardo ran into into McKenzie.
Oh, okay. So I saw Eduardo have a big moment there going through the corner. Wasn't sure if he got help in getting that tank slapper that he had, but unfortunate for those two.
He outbroke himself and he couldn't slow down in time. He hit the brakes too late.
This is especially bad for Phil, who just made a pit stop as well. Mono gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a position. So that is interesting.
Robin's in finally. He's going to the softs.
Yep. So Robin will be doing a 2-stop strategy. Phil goes to the hards. Honda just pitted to go to the hards as well. So any of the hard runners, with the exception of Izzat, will be able to go to the end. Should be with relative, or it shouldn't be too difficult to go to the end for them. Izzat will have to come in and make a pit stop, but he's done well just to keep his wing clean and just carry on after getting some damage earlier in the race. Oh, you know what? That's actually a really good point. Aaron makes a good point in the YouTube comments that the brake markers, the brake boards were taken out at that corner, and
thanks to Harry.
Yep. And if Eduardo is running without racing line, then that would definitely be a challenge.
That means he missed his braking point.
Now, one of the things I wonder, and we're going to go on board with Andrew Lee here, is usually at this track, there's usually tags on the fence as well. But if he didn't know to look for it, there are tags on the fence, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But regardless, the first lap around after something like that, it can throw you off, and that is probably what happened there. So that's definitely unfortunate for Eduardo. I don't really know if you can put too much blame on Harry for that, though. He was just doing his part to get out of the way. So just unfortunate there for Eduardo and for Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting blame on Harry at all.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I know. Just unfortunate incident there, but still some good battles going on here out on track. You know what, Michael Groen Jr., he's had a fairly uneventful race so far, and he's doing a good job just running around in P6 right now. He still has one more pit stop to make, but he's done a good job as the penalties are still filtering in for most of these guys. DeMarlio was the only driver at the front who had yet to pick up a penalty, and he just picked one up. He looks a little bit slow coming out of the final corner, but maybe not.
Yeah. Daniel's the biggest winner with 9 spots in the biggest leader right now. Whereas Phil that dropped down to 10 spots, so we'll see what he can do to get back up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Phil having the an unfortunate go of it there, getting caught up in that incident. Tyler, of course, as well, starting on pole and being the first car that we lost from the race here today. Not due to internet this week for Tyler. This was a race or an incident that he got caught up in on track. Penalty-wise, though, there's definitely some that are going to come into the play at the end of this race. Albert has 9 seconds of penalties. Mono with 11. Mackenzie just picked up a second penalty. He's at 6. Most of the other drivers in the top 7 with 3 seconds, and then once you get outside of that, you do see some drivers. We see 9 seconds, but penalties will definitely come into play at the end of this one with how close some of the drivers are on track. It's going to be fun to monitor this as it comes down to crunch time. Never mind if we get a late safety car.
Yeah, but some still have to come in for another pit stop, though.
Yep, which especially if a safety car comes into play here at any time now, it could really throw a real loop into some of the strategies here. As Mono goes up the inside of Albert, this is a battle for P4 on track. Albert's going to hold position right now, but Mono's going to have DRS down the next straight.
Robin's trying to get around Chargers. Ethan.
Mono up the inside, locks up, and Albert's doing a good job of holding that position. Yeah, Robin gets around Ethan. Actually, Ethan's looking to battle back now. Ethan doing a really good job on that first stint. He's doing everything that he needs to do. Ethan can go to the end of this race, so he doesn't need to battle. Eduardo right now. I would predict that we're going to see maybe another 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps. Actually, maybe probably 4 or 5 laps before we start seeing these medium runners pit.
Yeah.
Although if you're Mackenzie, though, oh yeah, Albert's in, so Albert's gonna fit a set of mediums, try and go to the end, and a wing change. Yeah, so that's big for him. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking here is if there were a safety car, if a safety car were to come out right now, it would be maybe a bit of a stretch. It would be, the softs would be screaming at the end of this for drivers to come in and pit. But lots of these drivers, you know, they should have another set of mediums. But if you're a driver that started on a set of mediums, like was expecting to do a medium soft, then you know it might be touch and go. So we'll see how these next few laps unfold here.
Yeah, and then the hards are pretty much useless right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Izzat's done a really good job. 18 laps on those hards. He's holding on to Daniel right now. So pace-wise, Izzat's done a great job. Everybody in front of him has to make another pit stop. So along with Izzat, and I wonder if if he's gonna pit here momentarily and go to the mediums, or if he's gonna be able to carry through and pit for the softs. I would imagine he's gonna try and go hards to softs.
Yeah. I mean, he already. I mean, this is, this would be a second pit stop because he had him. He came in, I think, on the first or second lap as well too.
Oh, a battle for P5 here on track. Thierry and Michael Garone Jr. battling it out. A bit of contact between them. Michael Garone Jr. is battling back now. Who has DRS? That's Thierry got DRS. Interesting. So he is going to hold P5 for now, but or I don't know if he maybe passed Michael. Not 100%. I think he actually passed Michael. So.
Yeah, he did. And he also has the fastest laps as well too.
Oh, interesting. So Andrew Lee, who's just quietly has that 15-second lead at the front of the field right now,
yeah,
does not have the fastest lap. That's not the norm.
Dang, I just got another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, he did. So the penalties are starting to add up for lots of these drivers. Izzat's into the pit. Oh no, that's Michael Garone Jr. into the pits along with Izzat. So what are these drivers gonna opt for? I think it might be a little bit wishful thinking to try and stretch the softs from here. The mediums at the ready for the Williams. And the mediums also for Izzat get fitted, and they are off and away. They can go to the end now.
Yeah, that'll be good to go.
For those two drivers, they definitely do not want to see a safety car now.
No, they don't.
That'd be one way to ruin the end of their race. So the Racing Point teammates are going to battle going into turn one.
Yeah, let's say two Pink Panthers going at it.
Oh, who was that? That was Eduardo with a wicked tank slapper there. Just drifting it through through the first couple of corners. As they're still side by side now down the DRS straight, and Izzat's going to get him, of course, on the quicker of the two compounds. Mackenzie stayed out. So Ethan on the hards has set himself up really, really well here for a strong finish. As Daniel is in the pits. Mackenzie gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
Ooh.
That's an odd one.
He's going to have to serve that in his pit stop as well.
He is, and he has to make another pit stop, so that is going to kill Mackenzie a little bit here. It's going to cost him probably at least 2 spots on track.
Yeah. But he'll be on the faster tire, so he should be able to catch him as well, too.
Yeah, DeMarlio and Mono are both going to have to come. Oh, Mackenzie almost lost it going through the S section. And Mike Garone Jr. picks up a 3-second time penalty. I thought Mackenzie picked another one up there, but... Ooh, so Mackenzie's struggling on those mediums right now.
Yeah, I think he's coming in this lap. He has to.
Yeah, before he loses much more time. Probably overheated the tires a little bit there as well, so that's certainly not going to help.
Yeah.
Comes out of the final corner, and he's not going to come in. He's going to stay out. Starting lap 25 for him. Mono is into the pits.
I think maybe the soft tires only can do like 10 laps or so, maybe. I mean, we know that.
We know Ethan went 11.
Yeah,
Ethan went 11 at the beginning of the race. So with the heavy fuel loads, these drivers, if they pit this lap, they'll only have to do, I think, 10 full laps on those tires. So it's not the end of the world. Yeah. The tires should be able to do that without much trouble.
Yeah.
Might not feel great at the end, but as there's a battle here for P8, Albert
Honda,
gets around Honda.
Yeah, Honda looks like somebody hit one another. I couldn't tell who it did because I just stopped on.
Does Honda have wing damage?
Yeah, because I think somebody threw their hand up in frustration.
He doesn't have any visible wing damage. So there was contact made there for sure, I think, with Albert, but luckily I think both of them escaped any potential damage there. Oh, Ken's off in the S's! He's still running though. Managed to keep it together. 16-lap-old mediums under Ken's car. He's probably going to be eager to pop the softs onto that car. Can't speak.
Yeah.
Ken's going to come in.
Yeah, when do you think Andrew's going to come in?
Ooh, Mackenzie picks up a 3-second time penalty, so his race is just it's slipping away from him quickly here, is it? And
he's going to lose that. He's going to lose 5 seconds once he comes to the pit lane. I mean,
he's going to lose 5 seconds, but he has 9 seconds in penalties other than that, I believe. Yeah, so
yeah.
Thierry has 9 seconds as well. DeMarlio only has 3. Robin has none. And Phil has none as well. So those drivers are definitely going to benefit from this.
Andrew's in.
Yeah, so we figured it was only a matter of time before Andrew comes in. He's going to definitely go to the softs. He can go to the end. I imagine DeMarlio is probably going to come in as well. Mackenzie will probably join the party. Thierry as well, currently in P4, so a nice run for Thierry. As DeMarlio's in, Mackenzie's in.
Yeah, with the 5 second, I think I would have came in probably the lap before.
Perhaps. Maybe Mackenzie didn't think he could make it to the end, though, or didn't want to roll the dice with those tires. So Thierry's in. Mackenzie's in, of course. Robin's in. The stream down pit road has started. Albert is going to...
P3.
Yeah, Albert's going to jump to P3. And as DeMarlio comes... Actually, he's going to jump to P2 as DeMarlio's going to get him. Ethan, P4. So the strategy has worked out very nicely for Ethan. He's done a stellar job here today to be where he is. And for the final few laps of this race, it's going to be hard for him to stick with as DeMarlio jumps up to P2 as he gets past Albert. But if you're Ethan right now, I wonder what this penalty situation is like. Ethan with 3 seconds and Albert with 12. Honda behind him has 9. So if you're Ethan, you're on for a good shot here at a podium today. He's just gotta keep it clean and drag those hards to the end.
And Michael just got another time penalty as well.
He did. As Mackenzie dropped all the way back to P8. So the penalty definitely not helping him in his effort here today. Mono in front of him on those fresh softs is looking to get around Phil on the old hards. Mono going to go up the inside down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Phil picked up his first time penalty somewhere as well too.
That is true.
And Mono got around Phil. Now Mackenzie's trying to get around Phil as well.
As Andrew picks up a second one, so very uncharacteristic to see that as Mackenzie was able to get around Phil there for P7.
Yeah, it might have been going through the S section again, and that's probably where he picked it up because he's in the stadium section right now going to the...
Yep.
Yeah.
Ethan losing touch a little bit with Albert, but holding down the fort in P4 right now. Sorry, what was that, Mike?
He just set the fastest lap as well, too.
Oh. So Andrew Lee, much like he has been this season, he's just off on his own right now and has really been untouched here this race. You thought with maybe some of the qualifying pace that we saw out of Albert, that we saw out of Tyler, we might have a bit better of a battle here today, but that has not been the case at all as Honda picks up another 3-second time penalty. It's starting to fall apart a little bit for him. It's really one of those tracks where if you get out of a rhythm, you're going to struggle. Oh, Honda up the inside on Mackenzie. They're side by ooh.
Oh.
That.
They're still banging wheels.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie might be a little bit frustrated with Honda there. Mackenzie didn't really get any room as they were side by side going into the corner, so they bumped wheels, but I think both of them got away with no damage.
Yeah, Ethan's pretty much a sitting duck right now on the hards.
Yeah, he is.
That's all you gotta do is keep it clean.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it clean, and he's going to gain positions back from penalties. We don't know where exactly he's going to gain the positions back to, but with how tight the field is right now, as here goes Mackenzie up the inside.
Well, he still has a chance to get on the podium.
Yeah, with the pace that he's losing, though, he's 8 seconds back of Albert right now. It's gonna be tricky on that
Albert
front.
Has 15 seconds of time penalties though as well.
Oh, so he does. Mono with 9 seconds, Mackenzie with 9. So yellow flag in sector 1. Who's that? Is that? I think it might have been. Is that maybe having a moment? He lost a couple of spots. Mackenzie with another time penalty.
That's 12.
12 now for him. So not surprising that Mexico time penalties have there's been lots of them.
Yeah, a lot.
In a race today that's certainly going to shake up that midfield, the championship standings. Of course, Andrew Lee will lock up the championship regardless of what happens here today, with Tyler's retirement.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping for that Tyler and Andrew Lee, showdown today, which,
Mackenzie up the inside.
To see if how well Andrew can do.
Mackenzie and Mono having a good old battle here through Sector 2. They're still side by side. Mackenzie gets that move done, though. He's up to P4, so if nothing else, Mackenzie sure has shown he's had some good pace here today, and Mackenzie can still get a podium out of this. I mean, I wouldn't quite rule him out for that yet. We know that Albert has 15 seconds in penalties, so he has one more penalty than Mackenzie has, but Mackenzie's got to put the hammer down and put a gap, build a gap to Mono if he wants to do that. So
yeah,
he also has to be aware of Ethan. Let's let's see here. Let's switch to the leader interval and see what we got here. As Ethan right now is about 9 seconds back of Albert. So he's still good, I believe, or Ethan is still good for that final podium spot. He's got to stay within 12 seconds right now of Albert if he wants to get that done.
Yeah, I mean, he's falling back, so I mean,
as Honda just got around him.
Yeah.
Honda has quite a few penalties as well.
And TP's coming around right behind him as well.
Yeah, quite a gaggle of cars that has formed up back here. As you know what, this Mexico Grand Prix, there's been quite a bit of good racing that's gone on so far. We can definitely say that. We don't have much to complain about on that front. It's been a pretty good race. We haven't really seen a good battle for the lead, but we've seen different strategies that have paid off for some drivers handily, and we've seen the drivers claw their way back up through the field.
Well, Robin's actually in a good position because he has no penalties at all, period, and he's not too far back off what, P7?
Perhaps, yeah. Once you factor in some of these guys with big penalties, We have a good battle here. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straightaway here. 3 abreast into turn 1. Oh, Eduardo, or that's Izzat that got into Ethan a little bit, and that bumped Terry off. So that's unfortunate for Terry. I mean,
Yeah,
he was having a pretty solid run there, and there's absolutely nothing that Terry could have done.
Yeah.
He was just trying to hold his line down the front straightaway, and unfortunately,
Ethan the field got into as well too.
Oh, and there's a Ferrari around. That's Robin. He did a bit of a half spin there, so maybe the commentator's curse coming into play there. It looks like right now Mono is close to getting that podium from Albert, just with the amount of penalties that they have.
Right.
I'll tell you what though, one of the drivers we've talked about a little bit so far during this race, but not too much, is DeMarlio. He's done a very good job just running his own race, keeping it clean. He does have 2 time penalties, but at Mexico, that's pretty good. And he finds himself in a well-deserved P2 right now. I mean, he was never really expected to compete with Andrew, but DeMarlio is definitely a driver we've seen a lot of growth from through this season.
Yeah.
Of course, I believe he was last season, at least a couple of seasons. It wasn't too long ago where he was still running with maybe it was assists that he was running with, so or running with some assists, and he's had a nice little transition here to the no assist ranks, and it's going to pay off for him here today as long as he can finish off these last 2 laps.
Yeah, I mean a lot of drivers that we've seen this year have come a long way as well too. So
yeah, you're right.
Good to see.
I really do think that this tier 1, so many of the drivers have come such a long way over the course of this season. I mean, we saw it here today. The top 15 drivers were separated by 1.2 seconds, which you don't come across leagues too often where there's this many quick drivers that are on the grid, and it just shows how talented many of these drivers are, the amount of effort that lots of these drivers put into it, and we see that reflected in the grids every week. We see different drivers every week battling for different positions on track, and it's been great to watch this season and commentate as I believe Andrew has started the final lap of this race. Of course, 22 seconds before anybody else will start the final lap.
Yeah, it's been pretty much a masterclass from the first lap, man. I don't know, like you said earlier, we don't know what happened with Tyler, but I mean, that's just unfortunate for him.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? Something else too is nobody's been lapped to this race.
No.
Addy, who's currently running down in P16, he's still running ahead of Andrew. So I think overall, it's just it reflects the overall pace of the field. Everybody's fairly close, and it really any given driver on any given week can have a good race here. As Daniel is he's having a good battle with Terry right now. This is a battle for P10. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. What's that for? I think that's
Ferrari.
Was it a Ferrari? So that could have been Robin?
No, it's Mono.
Oh, it's Mono. It's an Alfa Romeo. So Mono's had a spin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from Ferrari from the
Alfa Romeo. As Andrew Lee comes across the start-finish line, my bad, Andrew missed that, to win the Mexico Grand Prix and the championship.
Yeah, we saw it.
Absolutely dominating fashion here. DeMarlio doing some wiggles back and forth. Got to keep it together until he crosses the line, though, as he is going to cross the line here in P2. A great run for DeMarlio. It's going to come down to penalties now for the next few positions here. Albert Is he going to keep that podium? Mackenzie snags the podium by 0.2 of a second, so Mackenzie grabs the podium. Izzat's going to come home
Wow.
P5. Maybe. I actually think Phil might get P5 as Honda comes home, across the line P6. Phil jumps to P5. Michael Garone Jr. jumps to P6. Robin jumps to P5. Ethan jumps to P7. Michael Garone Jr. P8 is at P9. Daniel Hernandez P10. Honda P11. Terry P12 after an unfortunate incident there in turn 1 late in the race. Ken Doyle brings it home P13. Eduardo Rojas P14. Mono brings it home P15 after that spin. And then finally the last car running was Addy in P16. So lots of good battles out there. We do have a champion to crown now. Driver of the day goes to Robin, and I think deservedly so. You know, it's quite an accomplishment if you can make it around here with no penalties, and that's exactly what Robin managed to do today. Actually, yes, it is. The only driver not picking up a penalty.
Yeah.
Get a good image
Well,
here.
we have a champion.
So yeah, we do have a champion, but that battle is still heating up. I think Mackenzie's going to do pretty well in the points here, as he wasn't too far back of Tyla, I believe, coming into this one. So Mackenzie's had a good run, going to help him the championship. See some good
2 races left to go, so we'll see how it plays out for P2.
2 good finishes for the Ferrari drivers as well. You know, they were last in the constructors, but they weren't too far off the back of that cluster for that was kind of P2 to P9. So that's still largely up in the air with 2 races to go. As I am going to fire off some invites here for our top 3. Of course, some familiar faces here. We're going to have Mackenzie in for a 3rd straight week, I believe. Of course, Andrew Lee is a regular in this as well. We'll get him in along with Demalio. I don't know if Demalio usually joins, but we'll see. But overall, a good race here in Mexico. There was lots of good battles to be had amongst the drivers. Hopefully we're going to get some more good battling coming in Brazil next week. I know Brazil maybe doesn't have too many amazing passing opportunities, but certainly has some good ones, and we'll see what comes of those. We have one of our podium finishers. A couple of them have now joined into the party. So, Mackenzie, we're going to start with you. A great run here today. I'm sure it was maybe not the cleanest run that you wanted to have. Maybe a couple more penalties than you would have liked. But you know, there was the 5-second penalty that you had to recover from. That you had to serve under that pit stop, and you did a great job. Charging your way back through the field, and ultimately here today you come out of it with P3. So walk us through your Mexican Grand Prix.
Well, yeah, no, cheers about that, Stuart. Yeah, no, the qualifying wasn't the best. Yeah, I don't know what happened there with Robin. I was finishing my lap and I was far right as possible. I think he was trying to get some slip and wasn't expecting me to back off like I did, and he's just driven straight at the back of me. I'll have a chat with him afterwards and see what he reckons. But then having to start 10th, and there was a lot of carnage turn 1. It was just about getting through cleanly, avoiding the shit, and then just making my way back from there. That 5-second was pretty fucking stupid. I don't know why I deserved that, but it ultimately almost cost me a podium. But the last few laps I had a few people in my ear chirp me off gaps and that. So I was able to just put my head down and go for it. I would just like to apologise to Albert and Honda. The move on Honda was a bit risky, but I wasn't expecting him to turn on me as much as he did, and I don't even know what happened with Albert. I think we were going side by side through 1, 2, and 3, and he's like yeah, it is really hard to try and get 2 cars through this, especially nowadays with the wider cars. But yeah, I think I didn't feel any contact on my end, so maybe it was just a bit of desync. But yeah, really sorry about those guys. But yeah, all in all, congrats to Andrew on the championship. I'm pretty sure I jump up to P2 with this result, so
Yeah.
it'll just be about consolidating that for the last couple of races. It hasn't been the season that I've wanted to have, but it's
No.
the last 3 or 4 races have been real crucial in that, and yeah, let's try and carry on this momentum.
Yeah, no pressure, Mackenzie.
Cheers, Mikey.
That's actually one of the things that I was going to mention, Mackenzie, is you do pass Tyler to take that P2 spot right now in the championship. So with 2 races to go, we have Brazil and we have Abu Dhabi. What's going to be on your mind heading into those final 2 races, trying to lock up P2 in the championship?
I'm just hoping that it's that can be a real close fight. I don't want to have Tyler have internet issues or get taken out like he was today. I want to actually be able to fight him for it, and maybe have Andrew start at the back for the last 2 races since he's already won the championship, just to spice it up.
No, but on a serious note, man. On a serious note, man. Seriously, the last couple of races, man, you actually really kept your head down, man. You actually, got a haul of points, man. So I'm proud of you for that, man.
Yeah, no, cheers, Mike. Yeah, like as I said before, it's been a good run the last few races. I've actually put some effort into practicing behind the scenes with a few guys, and yeah, it's good to see that results are paying off the effort that I'm putting in for it. So yeah, well, let's just hope that we're closer to Andrew next season, come season 7.
True. So, a big congratulations to you, Mackenzie, on your podium. I believe this is your 3rd straight one, so you'll go for four podiums in a row next week when we head to Brazil.
Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, it should be way more than that. But my own idiot driving's done a few stupid shit. So but yeah, it's and I think today was the race that I've had the most penalties. Well, for 6.5, so that just shows, the amount of pace and consistency that I've improved in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, let's hope going to Brazil next week it can be a few less pens. Andrew starts at the back and the racing's good.
We'll see what happens next week in Brazil for sure. But we're going to move on now to our P2 finisher here today. That's D'Amelio. You had really one of the, apart from Andrew maybe, the most quiet race sort of on track. You really just went about your thing, ran your own race, and you brought it home fairly easily in P2 here today. A good haul of points that's going to draw you a little bit closer to Mackenzie in that battle for P2, as well as draw you close with Tyler's retirement. So a good battle brewing there for P2 in the championship, and coming off this strong race. What was your Mexican Grand Prix like?
It was obviously a very great race from my perspective. Qualifying went, I would say it was decent, but I feel like the second and third sector I screwed up, so yeah, that wasn't ideal. So then started on P6 or P5 I think, and then the start was just a mess. I just tried to avoid everybody, and I managed to get away without any damage, so that was great. And then from there on I just I think the first 10 laps was a mess as well, because I kept on being stuck behind other drivers, so I just kept it easy and took my time, and then finally got to overtake I think it was Albert, I think, and then I got some clean air, so yeah, really great. Then Mackenzie in front of me, I saw he had a lot of penalties, so I just drive my own race. Andrew just too fast. So I'm really happy with this P2. It feels like a win for me.
Yeah, yeah, it certainly was a really strong race for you, and as I mentioned, this really does bring that battle really tight together for P2 in the championship. So knowing how close things are between you, Mackenzie, and Tyler with 2 races to go, what are your thoughts heading into Brazil and Abu Dhabi?
So I like Brazil quite a bit. So I'll definitely have some fun there. Try to pick up some points for me and the team as well. Because today didn't have a great result after the last lap. He was really gutted about that. So
Yeah.
maybe in Brazil and Abu Dhabi we can get some points and finish the season well.
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope so, man. You've had a few strong races that you've strung together now, and really a strong season 6.5. So a big congratulations to you here today on P2, and good luck to you next week.
Yes, cheers, mate.
And finally, we will head over to our now can be confirmed championship winner as well as race winner here today. That is Andrew Lee. Andrew, starting P3, it was a little bit unusual to see you starting from that position today, though. Unfortunately, the invalidation on the final qualifying lap is probably what ultimately really led to that. But you were able to get it all back there on the first lap, and you never looked back from there. Were able to build out a really strong lead and maintain just a comfortable gap throughout the race. But walk us through your Mexican Grand Prix. I guess there's probably not too much to walk us through, but
Yeah, look, again, just another great race. You can't really say much more than that. I mean, qualifying was, well, I don't really have much to say about that, particularly from my part. I was not even remotely impressed with how that went. I knew the pace and the time that, I could have done, which would have been more than enough to, well, I say more than enough, it would have got me pole by probably a tenth, not even that, but yeah, just really frustrating when you know the time's there, but you just make such a stupid mistake and invalidate, which is easy enough to do around here. I mean, Mexico, it's such a tight, awkward, annoying little racetrack sometimes, but, it sometimes that's just what happens, but P3 was still in the right starting position, and then obviously the start was really good actually, a lot better than what I expected it to be. I think Albert must have either bogged it down or just got too much wheel spin or something. And yeah, Phil, I don't think got the greatest launch either. So that just allowed me to get under the rear wing of Tyler, get a run on him, get by down into turn one, and then yeah, well, I don't know, just there's a bunch of screaming in me here from Macca and Harry and Mikey is, I don't know, all hell broke loose behind. There were cars going everywhere. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, apparently, I don't know, Tyler got caught up in that, and then obviously a little bit later, his race came to a close rather abruptly, which is unfortunate. It's been a real good fight with him, even sometimes if he can be rather annoying, but that's the way it goes. But no, just in general, stoked with effectively back-to-back titles now. So, yeah, not really too sure what to say or think for the final 2 races, to be honest. I guess the mindset is just the same in a way, you want to go win, but I don't know. For Abu Dhabi, maybe I might take Macca up on that suggestion, and I don't know, maybe I should do a last question mark challenge. We'll see what happens.
yeah, that's certainly that would be fun to watch as we haven't seen you in too many situations where you've had to deal with some of the traffic and some of the challenges that are associated with that. I know after your first pit stop today, actually, you came out behind a train of cars that were battling pretty good. I guess so. You did have to deal with some battling today, but
yeah, just a little. I was a bit skeptical when I come in because I saw where that train was, and obviously, I was working with Macca to try and figure out, where we'd all slot back in. And when I come in, he reckoned I'd come out probably right in the middle of that train. I thought, like, oh, that's right where I don't want to be. And yeah, obviously when I saw Harry and TP go past, I realised I had just a little bit of breathing room to them. And yeah, obviously when I got onto the back of them, it was just about trying to dispose of every one of them one by one as quickly as we could. Yeah, and we got that done relatively well. Could have been a bit tidier in some cases, but yeah, got through it all okay and brought her home for another W. So, good stuff.
Yeah, it definitely was. Mike, did you have anything that you wanted to add for Andrew here?
Oh man, just congratulations on the championship, man. Yeah,
Cheers,
they had
buddy.
a great season.
Yep. Cheers.
Yeah, it's
Actually, Mackenzie wants you to start last in Brazil and Abu Dhabi. So
Yeah, I know. I heard him. We're already in negotiations for that. So.
negotiations are ongoing. Well, we'll see what comes of those next week. Yeah, when we head to Brazil. But Andrew, yeah, a massive congratulations on your race win here today again, and as well in the championship. But definitely well deserved.
Cheers, guys.
Alrighty, I think that.
Actually, I want to say this real quick, man. You know, last week's race with Grosjean, man, I'm happy that he's still with us.
That is true. That's actually a really good point. Definitely a scary, very, very scary moment, and good to see Grosjean back in the paddock this weekend. As he was able to thank some of the track marshals, the safety workers, and really a good sign that he was able to walk away with that with very, very minimal injuries. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I was kind of skeptical about the halo at first, man, but now I mean it saved his life pretty much.
It did, 100%. It did, and a lot to be thankful for. The entire sport has. So that's a good point to make, Mike. We haven't been able to do a broadcast since that incident happened, but yeah, it's definitely was good to see him walk away.
Yeah.
So we are going to wrap things up here. This has been the Transnation Esports No Assist Tier 1 Mexico Grand Prix here today. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.